My name is Brian Heine, and this is my story. Prior to my injury in early 2018, I was married to my beautiful wife Julie for 19 years, and we were blessed to have two children, Mackenzie and Madison. And I can't forget our fur baby Elsie, who pretty much runs the house. I have four siblings that when we're together, we always have fun, and we were raised by two wonderful parents. My life changed dramatically in January of 2018. I was at the airport on my way to a business trip when I slipped and fell on a patch of ice. Over the next 2 weeks, I experienced numbness and shooting pain that progressively got worse. Ultimately, this led me to the ER. An MRI revealed that I had cavernous malformations in my brain, spinal cord, and liver. Other family members were diagnosed with these malformations prior to my accident. Within days of arriving to the ER, I was transferred to a level 1 trauma hospital and I underwent spinal surgery for malformations at C3 and C4 on my spine. Unfortunately, I had complications after surgery and was transferred to the ICU. Swelling from my surgery caused the malformation at C3 to bleed into my brainstem. I was very sick, paralyzed from the neck down, and dependent on a ventilator to breathe. I fought hard for 14 weeks in the ICU and was stable enough to take a medical flight to Craig Hospital in Denver, Colorado. Craig specializes in rehabilitation for patients with spinal cord and traumatic brain injuries. At that point, my family and I made the decision to make the best of my long-term diagnosis. I received physical and occupational therapy, counseling to learn how to cope with my new life. My family traveled near and far to support me in this new journey. After 4.5 months at Craig Hospital, my family and I were equipped with the tools and knowledge to keep me safely transitioned back home after almost 9 months of being gone. I chose to have a positive outlook for my future, and I wanted to show my family and friends that life was still worth living. I was reunited with my dog, attended family gatherings, saw the Blues win the Stanley Cup, and other things that made me smile. I went with my wife to educate students at her school about living with my disability. I visited former customers. I got to see both of my daughters graduate from high school, my wife retire from teaching, all while navigating the challenges of the pandemic. I supported others who experience daily challenges as me. Even with my disability, I continue to live a joyful life with my family and friends. During these past years, I was fortunate to have a strong support system by my side. I'm lucky to visit one of my favorite getaways in South Haven, Michigan. This brings me great joy and peace to experience with others. Best of all, one of my initial goals when I got injured was to give back to others. My family received financial support from the community for the first few years through the annual Heine Strong golf tournament and other fundraisers. I co-chair the event and am excited to donate part of this year's proceeds to Alliance to Cure, which is leading the way through research in hopes of finding a cure for cavernous malformations. My hopes for the future are to bring awareness to others about living with cavernous malformations I currently lead a virtual class through Craig Hospital who have experienced spinal cord injuries and discuss various topics and answer questions the patients may have. Even when life deals you a tough hand, you can always stay Heine Strong and make the best of the situation.